before the match against Valencia. As is tradition at the Santiago Bernabéu, the players who have won individual awards will bring their trophies and medals onto the pitch to share the celebration with the fans. Usually, this is just a personal ceremony, and the whole team isn't required to take part. However, what's special this time is that Kylian Mbappé made the atmosphere completely different. He took the initiative to invite all his teammates onto the pitch to share the joy, not for formality, but because he wanted to turn that moment into a collective happiness for the whole team. It was just a simple gesture, but it showed Mbappé's growing influence inside Real Madrid's dressing room. Just a few days earlier, when he received the European Golden Shoe, what was supposed to be a small, private ceremony to hand over the trophy turned into something much bigger. Almost the entire Real Madrid squad showed up at the training center to congratulate him. Looking at those images, it's hard to believe there's any tension within the team. Sometimes, cracks in a group don't need words to explain. All it takes is one exceptional individual, someone talented and approachable enough to bring everyone together. Mbappé doesn't try to act like a leader. It's the way he spreads positive energy, joy, and respect that naturally draws people in. In a recent video, he was seen chatting warmly with club staff, joking as they introduced him to their wives, and even sharing personal stories. Some of them are about to welcome a new baby, and here's this superstar. Grounded and genuine, making Real Madrid feel like a family. There's also a funny, unconfirmed story going around, that players who celebrate personal awards before a match often end up having a poor game. But that superstition clearly doesn't apply to the former Paris Saint-Germain striker. Kylian Mbappé is the first Real Madrid player to win the European Golden Shoe since Cristiano Ronaldo. He's also become the fastest player to reach 44 goals in La Liga since the legendary Ferenc Puskás. It's fair to say that Mbappé is now living his dream, playing freely, being respected, and achieving milestones once held by his idol. In Real Madrid's 4-0 victory over Valencia, Kylian Mbappé once again became the center of attention at the Bernabeu. Not just for his goals, but for the way he made everything look so effortless. By the 19th minute, he had already opened the scoring from the penalty spot after VAR confirmed a handball by a Valencia defender. It was a cold, precise finish, the mark of someone who thrives under pressure. Just over 10 minutes later, Mbappé doubled the lead with a textbook curling shot after a clever assist from Arda Güler. 2 moments of brilliance, and the game was practically decided. What people admire most about Mbappé isn't just his ability to score, but his intelligence on the pitch. His constant movement stretched Valencia's defense, creating space for Bellingham and Vinicius to exploit. His very presence forced the opposition into a reactive stance, one wrong step, and they paid the price. Real Madrid dominated possession with nearly 65%. But it was Mbappé who truly dictated the rhythm of their attacks. After completing his brace, he didn't show off or celebrate excessively. Everything felt natural, pure Mbappé. A star who knows exactly how good he is, and doesn't need to prove it by force. The way he linked up with Arda Güler, chatted with Jude Bellingham, and smiled toward the crowd made the Bernabeu shine brighter than ever. That kind of energy can't be manufactured, it only comes from someone who was born to shine. As Real Madrid goes through a rebuilding phase after the eras of Ronaldo, Benzema, and as Luka Modric gradually steps back, Mbappé is emerging as the new centerpiece, both the finisher who decides games and the emotional spark that inspires the entire team. His 2 goals against Valencia brought his total to 13 in La Liga and 18 across all competitions, and, more importantly, reinforced his position as the new king of Madrid. People often say that Real Madrid is a place only for those who can handle the brightest lights. And with every match, Mbappé is proving that he not only endures that light, he makes it shine even brighter. In a match where Real Madrid was already cruising and the result seemed just a formality, Mbappé did something few noticed, yet it meant more than a goal. He gave up a penalty to Vinicius. In the 43rd minute, Madrid earned a spot kick, the perfect chance for Mbappé to complete his hat-trick. Add another personal milestone on a day he completely outclassed Valencia's defense. But instead of stepping up, he pointed toward Vinicius and smiled. It seemed like a small gesture, but it spoke volumes about character and leadership. Mbappé knew exactly what was happening behind the scenes. Vinicius had been under fire after his emotional outburst in El Clasico. His relationship with Xabi Alonso was tense, hanging by a thread. In that situation, even a simple goal, a penalty, could help Vinicius regain confidence, win back the fans, and restore calm in the dressing room. To give up that moment, Mbappe had to set aside his ego, the ego of a superstar chasing records. But he chose something greater, to help a teammate breathe again under pressure. Every team has players who need to be lifted at the right time. And a true leader isn't just someone who scores. He knows when to step back so others can rise. Just one glance was enough to show that in this Real Madrid squad, there's a man leading not only with his talent, but with his heart and aura. At a time when Madrid needs stability, Mbappe did what true greats always do. He turned a simple penalty into a moment of healing for the entire team. Even though Vinicius missed the penalty, maybe that was the risk Mbappe accepted, it didn't change the message. Ironically, Vinicius has now missed 2 of his last 3 penalties in La Liga. And even Arda Güler's rebound didn't go in. If the European golden shoe is the mark of a true scorer, then Mbappe's performance against Valencia showed why he deserves it. He didn't just score, he dominated. 2 goals, 1 penalty given away, countless bursts of speed that left defenders frozen. That's how a world-class player asserts his place. Haaland and Harry Kane may be racking up goals in the Premier League and Bundesliga. But Mbappe right now is playing like a king, ruthless yet regal. He doesn't need a hat-trick to prove anything. Every touch carries purpose. Every run shows intelligence. Every finish screams composure. Performances like this are what keep the race for the European golden shoe alive. When Haaland scores in England and Kane lights up Germany, Mbappe answers from Spain, with his own brand of dominance, efficiency, and flair that leaves rivals in awe. If you wear the crown of Europe's top scorer, you have to play like you own the world. And that's exactly what Mbappe does. His chemistry with Jude Bellingham is reigniting the kind of explosive connection that once made the Bernabeu tremble. The Valencia game was the perfect example. Bellingham wasn't just scoring. He was unlocking Mbappe's freedom to thrive. They move closer together now, swapping roles seamlessly. When Mbappe cuts inside, Bellingham pushes up as a second striker. When Mbappe drops deeper to collect the ball, Bellingham stretches the defense. The way they glance at each other, exchange quick 1-2s, it's the sign of 2 players who instinctively understand each other. And then there's the growing connection between Kylian Mbappé and Arda Güler, one of the brightest sparks at Madrid this season. It's what people call football destiny, one with deadly pace and clinical finishing, the other with genius vision and surgical passing precision. When they link up, Real Madrid seems to unlock a new dimension of attack. Against Valencia, they showed that magic again. The second goal came from a beautifully weighted cross by Güler, soft, precise, eliminating the entire defense, and Mbappe needed just 1 touch to volley it home. Right after scoring, Mbappe pointed and smiled at Güler, a silent recognition for his young teammate. That understanding isn't random, the stats prove it. Mbappe and Güler have already combined for 9 goals in less than half a season, Güler assisting 4 times. Mbappe returning the favor at least once. What's remarkable is how naturally they connect. Almost telepathically. Güler loves finding Mbappe not just because he's the striker, but because every pass to number 7 feels like it could become a highlight. And Mbappe always looks for Güler in the build-up, knowing that one delicate touch from the Turkish prodigy can open up everything. With this win, Real Madrid moved up to 30 points, maintaining their lead in La Liga, 5 clear of Barcelona. Real Madrid has seen many stars, but not everyone earns the Bernabeu's recognition as a true king. Mbappe is different. He's not just scoring goals, he's reshaping the very spirit of the club. A player who shines, yet knows when to step back. A bridge between young talents like Bellingham and Güler, radiating positivity and unity. In this team, he doesn't need to shout that he's the leader. The entire Bernabeu sees it every time he steps onto the pitch. Today, Real Madrid doesn't just have a superstar, they have a new symbol. A man rewriting the club's golden legacy with his talent, his charisma, and his heart.